What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Sunday Breakdown, and happy Easter to all of you guys. So we're gonna do the top down analysis for these next couple of days with the famous pair that we traded, which is US30 and gold. So today is the last day of March, which is March 31st. Tomorrow we are gonna enter a new month, which is April. So we want to start off the month very fresh. We're gonna look at the pairs. We're gonna look for high quality setups for these next couple of days as well. So like always, obviously I will give you guys those analysis every single day. So we're gonna start off first with US30. So check this out. You guys obviously already know the whole entire structure that we are now having with US30. We have the structure from the monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour. We're extremely bullish, right? Now, something that I want you guys to check this out on the daily time frame is pretty much what happened right over here. So last week I gave you guys an analysis. It was pretty much the beginning of the week, same exact analysis from this Sunday, but from last week I gave you guys the analysis that I'll be waiting for price to give me the pullback into this exact zone, which is going to be around the 39.230 zone, 39.250 zone, where I will be looking for those bounce plays. Right now, notice how last week we did not fully get the pullback into the area of interest where I was interested in taking this buy position, right? So I did explain this in one of my YouTube videos that I posted a while ago, which is pretty much how I trade support and resistance, right? And there's three ways that the market pretty much retests this. Let me show you guys right over here. So there's three ways, right? So the first one, we're gonna keep it very simple because it's just a breakdown. Now I'll pretty much go into full details, but check this out. The first one, we have the tap. So pretty much the tap, so let's say that we're breaking to the upside, right? First of all, let's say that we're in an uptrend and then we're now getting the pullback. This right here is called the tap, where price taps into the zone, retested the zone, and from there on, if it does reject, then it just goes pushing into the upside, right? So we find an example right over here. This right here can be considered as a tap. Notice how broke above resistance, we got the pullback, price taps literally right into that zone, and then gets pushed into the upside, right? So right there is called a tap. The next thing that we have is the overlap, right? The overlap is pretty much where the market overlaps the area of interest. So pretty much something like this, when the market overlaps the area of interest. So at this point, this is where you guys want to be very patient, pretty much wait to see exactly what the market does. Is it going to switch the structure, or like, is it going to switch the structure for example, something like this, and then head to the downside, or is it gonna break back above after price retests the structure again and then do something like this, right? This right here is called the overlap. And then the last one is called the gap. The gap is pretty much where the market gaps the area of interest, which is exactly what price did at this point, right? So the market gaps it, and then from there on it just takes off to the upside, right? Now, whenever market gaps, right, it can happen in any single time frame, like I did explain before in the videos, right? Support and resistance, you guys can find it any single time frame, the weekly, the monthly, the daily, 1 minute, 5 minute, any single time frame you guys can find it. Does not matter what time frame you guys are trading. Now, something that you guys, for example, in this case, something you guys got to keep an eye on is notice how we had the gap on the daily time frame, right? So let's say that this happens again whenever you guys are trading, or whenever we are breaking down the pairs. If we see another gap like this, right, this is where market structure, shift the structure, it comes to very big places in the lower time frame. So this is what pretty much is going to happen. So let's say the daily time frame, we do gap the area of interest, right? And then from there on, we start pushing to the upside. What you guys got to notice is on the lower time frame. So for example, if we're trading the 1 hour, 30 minute, or the 15-minute time frame, let's say that whenever we were having the pullback, we were heading to a downside, creating lower lows and lower high, but the overall trend is still bullish from the higher time frame, right? So we're still in an uptrend. So whenever price in the lower time frame, since we did gap the area of interest, right? So let's say this was over here the gap, price pushed up, and now we're getting the pullback, right? Or my bad, this is the pullback, and we are gonna gap around this area. So we're pretty much waiting for price to come right into this zone, right? Excuse me for the way. So we're just gonna do this. All right, so let's say that we are waiting for price to get into this exact zone so that we can continue buying the market. And let's say the market starts gapping. In this point in case, right, you guys got to be very careful and understand how market structure and shift the structure pretty much works, right? So for example, if price does gap it from there, we're going to have to wait for this new structure or this new high to break above the previous high, which forms a higher high. So whenever price does this, this is already a signal that price has potential of now switching the structure, right? So this is pretty much where you guys just want to mark this up and just wait to see how price reacts. If we get the pullback into the zone, creates a higher low, this is the area that you guys are going to be interested in buying the market, and then you guys obviously go with the trend. So whenever market gaps, you guys do not obviously want to enter right away with the market, because the market can obviously go the opposite way, or you guys can be right, but it's always better to wait for the 100% confirmation. So if market does gap it, you guys want to wait for this on the lower time frame. That's exactly what price did. If you go into the 1 hour time frame, you guys can see that market did gap it. We were pretty much consolidating over here, and then we did finally break above this previous lower highs or highs, right? We broke above this previous lower high. We formed the higher high. Price pulls back, forms the higher low. From there on, price rejects it, etc. Creates a new trend, and then price perfectly starts pushing to the upside. So whenever we got the market, which we wanted the price to come exactly to this zone over here, which it didn't, then price from the lower time frame started switching the structure, where you guys could have entered the buy position as well. So you guys already know obviously that we are extremely bullish, right? We came back into this major resistance, which is the all-time highs, which again we are currently rejecting it right now. What I want to see for these next couple of days is pretty much how price is going to react inside this box right over here. So we have two levels that we want to keep an eye on. We want to keep a level eye on, or the eye on this level, which is going to be the 39,840, and then the other level is going to be the 39,770. So check this out. Mark this up, keep this something like this. So the only way that I'll be interested in continuing buying US30 for this next couple of days is if, one, we can break and retest above over here, right? This is one opportunity. The second opportunity is if, let's say that price, today's market open, just pushes into the support area, which we're currently holding as support. And if you guys look left, you guys can see that is also, my bad, I meant over here, excuse me guys. So this, where I lost myself, my bad guys. Let me just, okay, never mind guys. So exactly, so we're saying it right. We're looking for buys above here. If price in today's market open pushes into this support area, this is going to be the second area of interest where I'll be interested in buying the market. Now, where I wanted to mention right over here is if you look left right over here, you guys can see that we are pretty much under an area of support. So its best bet is to wait for price to break above it and then retest it, right? Because you guys obviously don't want to be buying the market when we're under an area of support, right? So that's what I wanted to mention earlier. Now, anything above here, if it holds the 39,770, right, the 39,770, and breaks and retests above the 39,850 zone, this will be the two good areas that I'll be interested in buying the market with US30. Now, the opportunities where I'll be interested in taking the sells will be only if we do manage to break and retest under the 39,770. So if we break under this support and then price just remains of under, this is where I can say that our price has the ability to start having the switch of structure, right? We gotta get a 30-minute candle closure, and we also gotta wait for a 1 hour candle closure, right? So 30-minute candle closure, at that point the EMA is now gonna be trading pretty much above it like a resistance, and from there on you guys can continue taking the sell movement back into a downside, and then obviously you guys can target any of these levels right over here. For instance, this right here can be one of the first take profit around the 39,660. Second take profit can be down over here, and then overall profit can be down over here if the bearish volume continue to hold. Now, if it holds here, breaks and retests above here, this will be the target. If it breaks above this zones over here, then you guys, we can pretty much see US30 tap into the 40,000 zone if we actually continue holding the bullish volume. So be very, very patient around the zone like I mentioned. Make sure that price does break and retest above the 39,840, 39,850, right? Let me just edit this so you guys can see it better. 39,850, so you guys can obviously buy above this area of support. So that's the only way that I'm looking for US30 for these next couple of days. Now we're gonna go into gold. So you guys know the same exact story. Monthly we're bullish, weekly we're bullish, daily we are bullish, right? Now something that I did notice that happened this week, right? This was March 19th. So March 19th was it last week? It was the previous week. Yeah, so the previous week, notice how we broke above this previous high. Now, what I noticed, right, I had someone that explained to me this right over here, that we retested this zone. Now, the way that I trade, right, is I pretty much like to wait for candle to retest candles, right, not pretty much wick. So, for example, if I'm looking for buys and let's say this is a candle closure, I want to wait for price to do this. Tap it, right? Not tap the candle, not pretty much tap the wick. Now, I had someone that told me that this over here was a retest. From my experience, I really wouldn't consider this as a retest. My retest will be most likely whenever it touches candles, right? But if it's a retest, then it's a retest. But that's pretty much what I've heard. But let's say that it retested this week, which was the previous all-time highs, which right over here we did maintain itself above as support, right? Which is pretty cool. So we maintained that support after creating a new all-time high. So broke above previous all-time high, form a new all-time highs. Price starts creating lower lows, lower highs, forms a support over here, retested the previous all-time highs, which it maintained above as support. From there on, price obviously pushed to the upside, pulled back, retested the zone, had to switch the structure, started creating higher highs and higher lows, breaking above structure, and then we finally made a new all-time highs around the 22. We can say roughly the 2236 will be the all-time highs, right? Now, what I want you guys to focus on right now is knowing that price overall right now is bullish with gold, right? So it does not make any sense to start taking sells right over here. So you guys definitely don't want to be taking any sells right off the market open, just because price has been going very, very high, right? And pretty much we have not had the strong retracement, right? Now, there is multiple zone that I'll be interested in taking the sell if it happens, right? But what I want you guys to keep an eye on right now is this exact zone over here, which is gonna be the 2225, right? So this is a zone that I want you guys to keep an eye on for these next couple of days. Maybe it can happen tonight or literally right now when the market opens, right? But keep an eye on this zone. So let's say that market opens, we get a pullback into the zone. We do see that price retest. What is it? Resistance turns into support. If it does retest, turns into support and maintains itself above it. This will be some good area to start looking for buy position to then target back into the upside. Now, if price does fail to remain itself above it, right, this will be considered as a high risk sell, right? It will be considered as a high risk sell. But if it does give you guys the great risk to reward trade, then you guys feel free to take the sell. But if it does break under, remain itself under, pretty much close it, you guys obviously want to wait for those pullback, make sure that price remains itself under. If it does, again, like I said, this will be considered as a high risk sell, since we're pretty much trading against the trend, which the trend is still bullish, right? But this will be some good zone to take some sells back into the 2217, which will be the second target. This is another eye zone that you guys want to keep an eye on as well, 2217. If we do get a pullback there and we do see that this area of support does maintain itself above it and pretty much we are bouncing above it, this will be some good zone to start taking buys. If not, if price continues breaking under, then you guys wait for the same exact story, break and retest, make sure that price remains under 2217, and then you guys can continue taking the sells back into the 2205, right? Now, this is another area of support that you guys got to keep an eye on as well. But if it does, let's say that the bearish volume just literally just breaks under it, right? If bearish volume starts taking over the market and starts breaking under the 2205, this is where I can tell you guys now that price is already having the switch structure. If you go into the 1 hour time frame, we did break above the 1 hour higher low. You guys can see resistance, which is currently holding as a higher low. So once we do break under the 2205, this is where I can tell you guys now that price is now switching structure. We're no longer in a bullish market, we're now heading to a bearish market, right? So anything under 2205 is considered a bearish market, creating lower lows and lower high. So just keep an eye on these two zones for now. Don't really keep an eye on 2205 until price get into the zone, but just keep an eye literally right over here between 2225 and then 2217. Buys above here to remain itself above it, risky sell if it maintains under it, buys above 2217 if it remains above it, continue taking sells if price does reject the 2217 or just doesn't reject it and pretty much just breaks under it, right? So very, very simple, nothing complicated at all. That's what I'm going to be waiting for these next couple of days. And then tomorrow, I'm going to stop trading the Forex market, right? Well, I'm going to continue trading the Forex market for obviously the VIP groups. I'm going to continue trading the Forex market for them. Me personally, I'm not going to be trading no more Forex in my account. Neither I'm not going to be trading US30, maybe gold, maybe leave an account for gold, but I'm definitely going to be switching to futures, right? So I'm going to start trading this starting tomorrow. Pretty much want to see how, I did my whole entire back test, my whole entire study this entire weekend, but pretty much want to give it a try, want to see how future works out. But I'm definitely going to keep trading gold. US30 is not going to be trading because pretty much the same exact thing. It's just indices, but obviously we're going to be trading the SAP. And then Forex, I'm not going to be trading it anymore, but I'm going to be trading it just for the VIP group. But that's pretty much it, guys, for this breakdown. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.